What's going on, Walmart, Bentonville? It's your boy, Kevin Hart. First and foremost, it's been way too long. I gotta get back. Right now, it's not about me. It's about C4's newest member. I'm talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the offensive player of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up right now and make some noise. Give an electric warm welcome to my guy, Mr. Saquon Barkley. Welcome to the C4 family, brother. I miss you.
Hey everybody, great to see you. I'm here in Bentonville with a new friend, Saquon Barkley. Some of you I'm sure know who he is. Really talented athlete and a great human being. And we're here this week for Associate Celebration Week, and I'm going to talk about that a bit. But for those of you who don't know, we have thousands of Walmart associates who come in from all over the world. A lot of times it's their first time to travel, first time to be in Arkansas, first time to come to the home office. So this week is all about celebration for us. And I know in your line of work, there can be a lot of celebration, and you happen to win the Super Bowl last year. So maybe we'll just start there and talk about what was that like? I'm sure it's a goal you had for a long time and worked hard for many, many years, and it all came together, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, winning the Super Bowl is definitely a time to celebrate.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to win the Super Bowl on my birthday, and Cooper DeJean's birthday too. So that was just like the cherry on top of it, right? But you dream about that moment for a very long time. You train for that moment for a very long time, and you put so much work into it as an individual and as a team. And when it all comes together and it finally clicks, it almost doesn't feel real in the moment. But the first thing you see is that confetti falling down, and you just find your teammates and find your family and friends, and you're just so appreciative of, everyone that, was with you a part of the journey.
Does it still feel real, or do you still wake up thinking like, wow, we did it?
Yes, being honest, you kind of can't think that way. When it happens, it's a beautiful thing, but a day or two later, I'm in bed thinking about how can we do it again.
Yeah.
And what happened last year in 2024 was a beautiful thing, but you're forced to move on so quick from it. And I feel like that when I'm done playing and when I hang the cleats up, I'll have a better time of reflecting and enjoying that a moment even more. But you get 2 months off, and then we're right back into it, training and going out there, running routes and getting everything ready to perform at a high level for the next season.
I'd love to talk about when you decided that this was your path. So as you're growing up, you start playing sports. I'm assuming you play a lot of things, but when did you really lock in on this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I think it kind of just happened by me falling in love with the game, watching it with my father. Every parent, being a parent myself now, everyone thinks that their kid's going to be the next this and the greatest of this. But my parents said since I was 2, 3 years old, I used to be locked in on the couch on Sundays watching the New York Jets. And ever since I could speak, that's something I wanted to do. And you have the opportunity, you train, you work for it, you start playing as a little kid. And for me, it was kind of the moment in high school when you get your scholarship and you realize that, okay, like I have a chance. And then I played Ohio State my freshman year, and they were the number one team in the country. We lost as a team, but I felt like in that moment I was the best player on the field, and they had a whole bunch of first rounders and NFL draft picks. And then that's when you really realize, and for me when I was 18 years old, I was like, oh no, like I can do this. Like everything that I dreamt of, like I can do this if I put my mind to it, and a little bit of luck. You gotta stay healthy, and I was able to stay healthy in college and was able to get drafted pretty high to New York.
When you're part of a team that aspires to be top of the game, whatever industry, and I'll talk about retail for a second, is there some parallels there? Like every day can be a great day, but you wake up tomorrow's a new day, and you got to fight through the day. We look at our sales numbers every day. We feel my mood's affected a lot by how yesterday was, and you try to make today better. But with those parallels in mind, a lot of what we do, and I'm sure you do the same, is you're always practicing in your head. You're always thinking about how to be better, what could have been done differently for you and the team. How does your day go, and how much time do you spend thinking about and working on being the best at what you do?
A lot. You gotta be obsessed with it. I was able to have been able to have a lot of conversations with a lot of greats from all different professions: track, football, NBA, business. And something that I find as I continue to study and try to learn within myself to continue to be great is how you said exactly, there's so many similar parallels. Like whether it's in business, whether it's in retail, whether it's in investing, whether it's in sports, success is not an accident. So I think it comes with the mindset that you have. And that mindset is formed by being creative, thinking positive, having those moments played out in your head that when it happens, it already happened so many times, you're not shocked by it. So you just got to always continue to find new ways to improve and continue to get better. And pretty similar, like how you said, you look at your numbers, and even if you have your best day, you got to do it again the next day. You got to do it again tomorrow. And that's so similar in our sport too. You win a Super Bowl, it's great, but you got to do it again. You rush your 2,000 yards, it's great, but you got to do it again. And you just go back and watch and be your biggest critic, and have the highest expectations from yourself. And I feel like that just continued to help me improve.
There are a couple moments last season where your coach asked you, do you want to go back in? And so listening to you talk, you had the opportunity a couple different times to hit your best, your record, and then the season best, but you didn't do that. So as you describe what you're trying to do to always be your best, always beat yesterday, you put yourself aside a couple times because there was a bigger goal. So I'd love to hear about, had you thought about that ever happening? Was it on the spot when the coach says you can break your personal record? Had you thought about what you would say, or was it just so obvious that none of this is about the team?
It's two ways how I look at it, and I just found out a new way today. But for me, playing running back in the NFL, it's not an easy job. It's a job that I love and I've been doing for a very long time, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of wear and tear in your body. It's a lot of hits, and you might have 30 carries, 25 carries, 200 yards, 50 yards. That Tuesday, that Wednesday, that Thursday, I might be banged up. I might not be able to go out there and practice the best I can. I got to rest up for the next Sunday. And who do you think is taking that workload for me? That's Kenny. That's Will. That's the backups. And, it was a perfect opportunity for me to go out there and stick it to the Giants when there's so much BS all over social media or TV leading up to that season. But the job was done. I went out there and accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. The game wasn't within reach. And it was an opportunity for the younger guys to go out there and do what they do. Will Shipley's a great young running back. He needs reps. I think very highly of him. Kenny is a great running back, and he was on a 1-year contract. He needs film so he can, get opportunity to make some money and provide for his family. But we had the opportunity today to talk to Peyton Manning, and, we asked him a question about the teams that he's been on that's been super, super successful. And he said that the best players work the hardest, and it's never about themselves. And in that clip, I'm the one that's getting pointed out, and it showed me. But I think if you go throughout a whole team, whether it's me, whether it's AJ, whether it's Lane, whether it's Landon, Cam, the list goes on and on. We all had so many moments throughout that season. And like I said, again, success is not an accident. I don't think there's no question with the talent that we have why we were able to win the Super Bowl, especially in dominant fashion.
When we think about how we manage our business, we have 4 key principles that are always really important, top of mind. I talk about them all the time: striving to be excellent, serving others, respect for the individual, then operating with integrity. And when the team showed me that video, it hit me that all of those are built in there. It was about the integrity of the team. It's about serving others, letting others have a chance, respecting something greater. But this concept of serving, being part of a team, which you just talked about, was that always in you? Was it your parents? Was it your family? Like, where did you learn it? And for people that are joining today, how would you encourage them to think about putting themselves in the position where they can always be the best, but when the moment comes, it's a hard call, whether you try to take all the fame and the glory or you put it aside because there's a bigger goal.
Fame and glory only last so long. And it's not real. It doesn't really matter. In my opinion, I guess. I think that stems from my parents. I always say every time I get a chance, I'm super blessed. I have both parents in my life, healthy and alive and together, and they're my best friends, and I can still rely on them to this day. But with the concept of team, and I joke around with my boys all the time, like I want to write a book about this. I think once you submit to yourself that you cannot do it without a circle of trust, without a great team, without a great friend, without a great partner, it doesn't just work like that. Anybody, any team, any individual that you believe is highly successful, I think they all can go point out to another individual or another person or another team of how they help them get to where they need to go. And when you submit to that and you figure that out, it's so much easy to go out there and play loose and play free and not think about the fame and not think about the glory, because you can't do it by yourself, whether it's in work, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in religion. I think all that ties together.
Someone told me a few years ago, when it comes to team and business, that innovation, which is really important, we think about all the time, but innovation happens at the speed of trust. So you're wearing a pretty cool sweatshirt, new brand, innovative, newer brand. What led you to C4? Talk about the product, and I want to talk about how we sell more of it, obviously. But what was interesting to you about C4?
You got to be authentic to yourself, right? And it's a product that I've been using for a long time, and we've been in conversation and talks of the partnership for a long time, and happy that it finally came together. But it's something that I use, and I know that it helps me in my career and it helps me in my profession, whether it's in the off season or whether it's in the season, of getting me ready to go out there and perform at the highest level. The biggest thing for me is that it's NSF certified, sports certified. And as an athlete, you have to be able to trust the things that you put in your body. You can't put banned substance in your body. You see all the time guys getting popped, and it's in the media. And then you meet the person and you have a conversation, and it was like, I was taking this thing, and the media try to portray it as they're cheating or they're doing this. And sometimes it's just, I'm using this product to improve my game. I'm not even trying to use it for a cheating matter, but I didn't know what was in it. So you have to be able to trust the substances that you put in your body, and C4, having that definitely means a lot to me. And it doesn't hurt that it tastes really good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your favorite flavor?
Jolly Rancher, the ones right here, Jolly Rancher.
Oh, yeah, today.
Would definitely be my favorite flavor. And I think it's cool too that the fact that you see a lot of people in the NFL using it. Like, I'm in the locker room, even before I became, a part of this partnership. You see, not only myself using it, but we do it before practice. We do it before lifts. Basically, anytime you need some energy to go out there and perform at a high level, you see multiple guys using it. So aligning yourself with things that are authentic to yourself is always important.
So you know the brand, you know what's in it. I'm sure you did some research for all the reasons you just said, but you trust that it makes you a better athlete.
Yeah, and you don't even have to trust that. So when it's NSF certified, like, it's all out there. It's like they ran it through all the tests, and it's all good for you. There's no banned substances in there, and you don't have to worry about a thing.
Yeah, I told someone earlier today, I was talking to you, and they showed me a video of you squatting 585 pounds over and over. So I figured you had a couple of those that day.
Yeah, for
Probably
sure.
leading up to it, maybe a couple after.
For sure. And that week definitely had to. We had a busy week with training and events. So it's not only for just the energy side of it when you're doing a lot. I like it more for before games and helping me get in that mindset and get in that groove to go out there and perform at the highest level. It was a big part of my success I had last year. I just wasn't part of the partnership. Now I'm part of the partnership, so hopefully it helps even more.
It does, yeah. And we're excited to have you here and have this product as part of the Walmart assortment portfolio. How much time have you gotten to spend with the Walmart team so far? Is this your first time in?
It's my first time. Yep.
First time
It's
in.
my first time ever in Arkansas. So.
Oh, it's really?
Yeah.
We wanted to have you here, and we wanted you to talk about the brand, but we also were excited to have you here because there are a lot of parallels between, I think, our industries, clearly different and different skills required, but preparation, practice, mentally being ready the day before big events. And one of the things I mentioned earlier, which is so important, we have a really large team of people all across the country, and we can't do it without any of the functions. Mm-hmm. So staying aligned and having a team that is thinking always about serving the customers the way they want to be served with great products is what we do every day. Saquon, thanks for coming. Thanks for being part of our celebration week this week. You'll see a lot of excited people this week, some celebrating, maybe not as big as the parade you talked about earlier, but in my heart, I feel like it's our Super Bowl, and it's great to have our people be a part of it. Thanks for everything you're doing for the brand, and thanks for being a part of this.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.